Hello and welcome to the Weekly Mag. Are you one of those people who start trembling at the thought of packing a suitcase, or you don't know where to start when it comes to tidying up your living room? By the end of today's interview, we'll have a few organizing tips under our belt with Clara Massons, who will help us tidy up our life, our homes, everything. Welcome, Clara.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Clara, you are a professional organizer.
I am.
What does this job involve?
It involves helping people to organize their homes and their lives.
Organize our homes and our lives. It sounds easy when you say it, but it's not that easy, in fact. And let's start with some tips. Let's start. You brought here today a few clothes, right? And we're going to learn to pack a suitcase. I mean, we all pack suitcases for holidays and for weekends, whatever, but do we know to pack a suitcase properly? This is what we're going to learn today with Clara. So let's start, Clara.
We tend to bring too many things. Okay,
it's true.
We take a lot of things just in case.
Exactly.
So the first
That's
thing
me. You are describing me at the moment. Okay, so
the first thing we have to
do
a list. We have to write a list with the items we want to take, so that we make sure we don't forget anything at home.
Exactly.
And we don't carry too many things more than we need. Mm-hmm. The other important thing to take into account is the folding. Okay?
The folding, exactly.
Yeah. And the system I use, which is the one that I learned from Marie Kondo, is this one I'm going to show you.
Okay.
And the great thing about this system is that you don't have to fold things again to put them in your bag. You can take them like this and put them in the suitcase, like I'll show you in a bit.
Okay.
So the first thing we have to do, we have our jeans here and we put them like this. We don't have to close the buttons and fold into, looking for a rectangle, and hide this tip. I like hiding this tip. And then we fold again, leaving a gap at the end. You will see why.
I didn't know that.
You will see. And fold again, and we leave this gap because then when we fold again, it moves a little. If we don't leave this gap, look what happens. We have this bit here. Okay, it's not much, but I can't stand it. As a professional organizer, I can't stand it.
Of course, so, this is the idea.
Yeah, so we fold again.
Wow, this is a great tip indeed. So it takes you just a few seconds. How many seconds have you counted?
I counted more because I was explaining it, but
normally, do you know how long it takes you to
3
fold
seconds,
some jeans?
3 seconds, 5 seconds, especially when you have a pile of clothes from your children, you're super fast.
Okay, and it's also your case because you have 2 children.
Exactly.
So you're an expert.
And a husband, and he cooks.
And a husband.
He cooks,
okay.
I fold. Okay.
All right.
So let's try the jumper. Like this, we're used to folding like this. This is what we learned at home. But with the KonMari system, we do it in a different way. And we divide the jumper in 3 parts, taking into account the neck. We fold like this. And the sleeve gently, okay, and fold again, not to the center, we fold again like this, and the sleeve, and we do like a bit of a massage, okay, we say thank you to the jumper for his service, its service, and we put it with the other jumpers. It's
interesting, Clara, what you mentioned about saying thank you. This is also a thing you learned from Marie Kondo.
Exactly. We have to be grateful to our clothes for warming us in winter and giving us self-confidence. So everything we have at home, not only people, we have to be respectful with everything, every item. And this is something I love. But when I work with children, I always see something that I love, which is, they don't know the KonMari system, of course, they're children, they're just tidying with me. And I realized that when they want to discard something, they sometimes kiss it goodbye and discard it. And this is something they do naturally. And I love that because it means they're grateful to that thing that they discard.
And this is something that Marie Kondo says. She says that, first of all, you should start, how do you start organizing? She says, because I also read her book, before you get rid of something, you should be thankful.
Exactly. First of all, we have to commit to organizing, okay? After we have committed, we have to declutter. And we have to choose what we want to live with.
Declutter, that's a very hard part.
That is the hard part.
To decide what you keep, what you throw away, what you get rid of. So what's your advice? What's your piece of advice concerning decluttering?
Keep only what sparks joy for you, what you truly love, and what thing that will help you reach your ideal life, and get rid of the rest.
Okay.
And the same applies with people. Keep people that you love around you and get rid of the rest of them. Okay, send them away.
That makes sense. But with objects, sometimes we say, well, maybe I should keep this because you never know, just in case.
Exactly.
So what do you say about that?
We have to be present. We keep just in case because we're in the future, thinking of possibilities where we live under a bridge and we cannot eat, and then we're going to need that. But this is not likely, okay? So we have to be present and don't keep things because of the past, like, oh, my sister gave it to me and I hate it, but my sister gave it to me, so I have to keep it. Why?
Okay.
And don't think of the future, think of the present. And do that only once in your lifetime, okay? The idea of the system is not to discard every 3 months, but just once in your lifetime and keep what sparks joy with you forever.
Okay, point taken. Clara used to be a translator. I mean, you studied translation and interpretation, and then you decided to change your life completely and become an organizer. So how come?
I was pregnant with my first boy, and I thought, I cannot work as a translator full time. I cannot keep organizing, which is what I truly like, for my friends and family for free, and I cannot be a mom. So my husband said, give up translating and give it a try. And this is what I do now, and it's been 6 years, and I truly love it.
Does it make you happy?
A lot.
Excellent. Okay, so we learned about packing a suitcase. This is the basic folding, and then now we need to fit it in. How do we put it in the suitcase? We need to fit in as many things as possible, of course.
Yeah, but with our list. Okay, with a list, with a reasonable list. Exactly, so it means that we're not going to squeeze. We just take our things from the wardrobe like this.
Okay.
I have a few t-shirts here prepared, and I have a few jumpers. I wouldn't pack more than clothes for 3 days or so.
3 days?
Yeah.
Even if you're leaving for a week?
Exactly.
Why is that?
I would take underwear for a week if you want, but because you can wear things twice. I mean, your blazers and your jeans can be worn more than once.
Yes, sure.
Exactly. And if you stay more than a week, you'll have time to wash it. Okay, so we don't need to pack that much. And for instance, I would carry, for example, this is for my hair. I can put this here, and I can put some underwear in these pockets here, or the charger, or a journal.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
So you put everything in vertical.
Exactly.
Why is that? Because obviously you can fit in more stuff, right?
I think you can fit more stuff, and also it doesn't wrinkle that much because it doesn't have so much weight.
I see.
And you can see everything from at one glance.
Yeah, it's true.
My vet told me a few years ago, she was so grateful for my tip because she said, I went to this lovely hotel that didn't have a wardrobe. Can you imagine?
Okay, Clara, we've learned how to pack a suitcase properly. What do we do with these organizers? Do we leave them at home or you take them with you?
I would take them.
Yeah?
I would take them. Yeah, sure. You can fold them.
Right.
And then wherever you are, you can put your clothes neatly.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can be organized everywhere, not just at home.
That's a good tip. Clara, what about your own home? Obviously, you're a very organized person. Is everyone in your family organized?
Well, I have 2 kids, and I think children under 7 don't know how to organize much. So we have to relax. Okay.
We need to teach them.
We can teach them, like, for example, saying before we start a new game, we pack this game if we're finished, which is not easy at all. And I think the best way to teach them is with our example. We have to keep our things neat and tidy, and I think they will follow.
Okay, I see.
With adults, it's more difficult though, because we...
What do you do when you share a flat with a friend and these friends are not very organized, or your partner, you share your life with? What do you do then?
Yeah.
To avoid conflicts, I mean, of course.
We have to reach a deal and say, okay, with these common areas, what is acceptable and what is not, and we have to relax both ways a little. I should relax, and my couple would be a little bit more strict, for example. Another good way to avoid arguments is avoid sharing things. For example, I have my own wardrobe, my husband has his own wardrobe.
I see.
So if it's not super perfect, I can sleep fine, because I just don't care, okay?
Okay. Well, I think we have a visitor also, Auntie Polly.
Oh, sorry, I didn't want you to interrupt because it was so interesting when you were saying, hi, could I squeeze through?
Yes, please.
Hi. Oh my God, what an honor
Nice
it
to
is
meet you.
Wonderful, goodness me. Look, I've brought this here because I'm a big fan of Marie Kondo, system.
Really?
As you can see, I discovered a while ago that none other color than the purple chromatic family was giving me spark of joy, So I threw everything, well, I didn't throw it away, I donated, of course. And ever since that, I was much happier, But before that, I've brought here, this is my bundle of joy, Marcella.
Oh, let's see.
Or an emergency kit, because you haven't mentioned this, and I would always take this in all my journeys and my trips to, St. Paul of the Sea or Canet de Mar, everything. I've got my milk jar here with a purple little bit to give sparkle of joy. My teapot, very important for me, and also a mug. You see, because lately, of course, very important. You see the tea stain at the bottom, very important. You don't wash this, you don't wash anything, not with soap. Soap is completely overrated, don't you think? It's just the smell of bleach everywhere. It's better if it's a little bit dirty, better for your immune system, don't you agree? And then, so my question is, how would you pack this into the suitcase? Because it's very important that it doesn't break, right? So, I carry it in my bundle of joy, but I was wondering how a professional organizer like you, how would you pack it?
I would fold it with this.
Oh,
Can I?
Yes, of course, of course. Oh, exciting, you're gonna use this, wonderful. Look, I use the inside, to put tea bags also.
All right.
Yeah, because you have to use the space, right? And then when I'm going to have a cup of tea, I just take one tea bag out, shake it like in reggaeton, shake it, and then do my tea like this, because I like my tea strong,
Okay,
I don't,
English
not
tea, of
dirty
course.
water. Yeah.
But Auntie Polly, this is not English, right?
Well, I'm glad you say that, Marcella. You always have very interesting questions, don't you?
So let's see what happened.
Yeah, this is a cross. I'll tell you later. You can stay to watch my report. You will be very illustrated. You'll learn a lot about it. But this is about
Okay, Clara, you wanted to fold this?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, show us how to do it properly.
Properly.
Oh,
We'll
careful,
see.
it doesn't break. Wonderful.
That's very important.
Did you notice that it doesn't have a lid?
Yeah, wow.
Did
Exactly.
you notice that, Clara?
Yeah.
She's very observant, isn't
So,
she?
Where's the lid?
Oh, this is good. It fits perfectly in between your husband's trousers. Wonderful. Listen, look, can I just take it out because I want to show you why it doesn't have a lid? Because look, I've bought this on purpose so you can. Ta-da! Oh, sorry, it doesn't look good. Oh, sorry, like this.
Saves so much space.
Ta-da! Yes, exactly. That's
Clara,
why
what
I did
do you
it.
think?
To save space. And also it keeps the milk warm. And if the teapot lid breaks, which is what happened to me, it's a win-win-win situation.
Excellent
It's
idea,
wonderful.
in
What do you think?
fact.
Yeah, I love it.
And it's good for packing also. You don't have so much things to pack. Anyhow,
Okay.
this is so good, Clara.
Yes.
Ah,
So, Auntie Polly, tell me about the croissants, which are not English, like we said before.
they're
So
not
what
English,
happens?
but they're not French either. I'll tell you about it. It's
Oh,
a really, really funny
Now
story.
you surprised me. So, Auntie Polly, I'll see you
Yes.
in a bit. You'll tell me all
right.
about it.
I will. I'm going to make a
Thank
cup
you.
of tea. Nice to meet you,
Nice to
darling.
see you in a bit.
Bye.
Okay, Clara, now it's time for the question chain. It's a surprise question for you from our last week's guest. We had the journalist Raquel Sanz, and this is her question for you.
Hello, I'm Raquel Sanz, I'm a journalist, and my question is, which was John Wayne's first movie?
Okay, John Wayne. Do you like John Wayne?
Not really. I'm sorry, not a big fan.
Okay, no problem. Maybe a film that you've seen recently and you liked very much?
I can say I really enjoyed Alcaraz.
Of course. Clara, there are more surprises for you today on the way. We'd like you to play a little bit with us. It's a game called Rapid Fire English with Mark Broderick.
Okay.
Hello, Mark. Welcome back.
How's it going, Marcella? Good to be here.
Great, great. So, are you an organized person?
Absolutely not. As you can probably gather with hanging around me, I have a messy personality, and it's even messier when it gets into my house. I'm the kind of person that arrives in the door, opens the door, takes off the jacket, throws the keys everywhere, takes off my shoes, and the keys could end up in the washing machine.
Okay, I would have great fun in your home then.
Probably you would. You'll be there for a few weeks. So, is it true? Messy house, messy personality? Would that be something that you would
Not
say is-
always.
No?
Not always. No. I think some people are very organized inside, but just they don't care about mess outside.
That would be me. Thank you very much. You hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head.
That's great news.
So, we're going to do a few cool expressions related to cleaning and related to getting things in order, okay? In your house, living space, etc. Okay? Think you can help me out?
Let's try.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a picture, okay? If we can pull that up, please. Okay, so as you can see, lovely couple getting down and having some cleaning done at home. So I'm going to give you 3 expressions of what we might use for this in English. Would we say that A, they're using a bit of elbow grease, B, they're using a bit of hand grease, or C, grease lightning?
B, hand grease maybe?
No,
Elbow one?
Elbow, very good.
Okay.
Imagine the joint of the elbow, you know, like an engine, and they put the grease inside and they move, you know, really fast with the elbow grease.
Interesting.
Follow-up question. Those 2 people working hard together, cleaning the house. Happy relationship?
Absolutely.
See? Happy relationship.
Okay, do you
All right.
recommend it?
You recommend cleaning together?
Everyone has to be involved. Or dividing. For example, I fold, my husband cooks. Depends on each one's strengths.
And when you're packing, is it like a train? You know, the little one at the bottom, the other one here?
Everybody has to pack their own things. This is my advice.
Very good. Excellent. Well, okay, on to the next one. Okay, so this kind of comes from my house. I like to hoard things. I like to collect things, okay? I have a lot of clutter, decluttering, etc., whatever
Lots
you
of
want to call
trinkets.
it. Lots of things in the house. Now, in English, we have an expression for these things. Would we call them A, pitter-patter, B, knickknacks, or C, Kit-Kats?
Knickknacks?
Well done. Well done. Knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone, as they say. Knickknacks, yes. Just like bits and bobs, no? Things that are like all over the place from all, you know, could be on the floor or whatever. Now, obviously collecting things and having a place to have all these things is another story. What kind of personality would a person have if they had lots of knickknacks in their house?
I think would be a sentimental person.
Okay.
Because every item reminds them of something. But we have to be careful and see the difference between a hoarder and a collector.
What's the difference?
A collector knows what they have and where they have and what they're lacking. And a hoarder doesn't.
Could it be a combination of the two? Because I know I have some things somewhere, but I'm not quite sure about other things. Is it possible to have a combo there?
Of
Nice
course,
try.
you're mixed.
No,
Nice try,
not
Mark.
getting there, not getting there. All right, all right. Okay, so here we go, the last one, okay?
Right.
Okay, obviously, somebody's had a party at home. There's bits, things everywhere, glass bottles, etc. He doesn't look very enthusiastic about getting going on that one, okay? So imagine that he needed to get the place in order very quickly, okay? We have expression for this in English. What would we say? Would we say a cleaning blitz, a cleaning party, or a cleaning train?
I have no idea. Say blitz.
Well done. Excellent. Yes, it is. Exactly.
Excellent.
You blitz through it. Absolutely. Well done. And do you let things pile up at home? Probably not. No?
No,
Do you
I don't.
do cleaning blitzes though? That's
I
the
love
question.
them. I love them, and I didn't know.
There you go. You go home. What kind of personality do you need to? Well, would you relate to somebody who enjoys doing cleaning blitzes? Let's say on a weekly basis or bi-weekly. Is this another type of person?
I think it's a person who is respectful with their home and enjoys taking good care of the home.
Good. That's not me, unfortunately. I don't do cleaning blitzes. I'm more of a hoarder and a collector. So there you go.
Well, Mark, as they say, a cluttered desk, a cluttered mind, but the good news is that it's not necessarily true, right? Clara?
Exactly. It depends on the person.
I feel much better anyways. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mark, as well. And
problem.
thanks to LinguaTracks for making this section possible. And thank you, Clara, for joining us today and playing with us, and also helping us with your advice.
Thank you very much.